Hey everybody, what's up? And welcome back to the channel with more Lunar here. Today we're going to take a look at close combat basics for you guys and show you how that works. So as with most things in Lunar, it's pretty simple and straightforward. You basically have a different chart here of different types of actions that you can do with that. So everything will start with a grapple. We'll get into that. And as with everything in Lunar, it's d6 plus modifiers. Very simple for the attacker and the defender. We figure out who wins, and then based on that, what type of follow-up we're going to do with that. So today we're going to take our handy NASA combat specialist and our Soviet generalist just to see if we can do some damage with that. So everything in close combat, Lunar starts with a grapple. You can declare a grapple action if you're within half an inch of an enemy model. Once declared, the attacking unit will check the distance and, if within range, move into base-to-base contact. If the attacking unit's out of range, then the attack fails and the oxygen is considered spent. So basically we would, instead of starting a part here, we're going to just say that we had just moved into base contact and now we're going to try and grapple. So it's a little bit different for the attacker. It's d6 plus current mobility. So that's where the faster speed of some of the other factions comes into play versus the Soviets. But they are just, again, harder to damage, so they have that going for them. So, but d6 plus mobility and any bonuses right now. So, and then we're looking at the general competency roll there. So d6 plus 3 for the mobility, plus 2 for the competency bonus here. So if we roll that, hopefully it's decent. 4 plus 3, 7, 8, and 9. Now it's d6 plus the defender's current mobility and their bonuses. So 2 here, and a nothing as far as their stats. Now we still rolled pretty hot though. It's still 6, and 2 is 8. We did beat it by 1, so we actually won there. So we have options when we win. If the attacker wins, they can choose to push, make a melee attack, or a sidearm attack if we had like a pistol, for example. If the defender wins, this is the fun part, then they can make a free move action to get away, or they can exert themselves and choose from one of the 3 follow-up options, and then essentially they get a free swing back. So now the interesting thing with that is the exert happens for that, whether they've already activated for the turn or not, and if they would have any oxygen left. So normally you get like your 4 oxygen, then you can exert yourself past that. Here, to swing back, it actually is just going to be an automatic exert. So you can only do that so much. But we won here, so we're going to decide to make a melee attack. And here we're going to go with d6 plus the piercing value versus d6 plus the resilience value. And again, that's where the Soviets come in handy for that. So we're going to do d6 plus the piercing value, which is 4 on our geology hammer. So here we're going to hope to roll high, and that's cocked. Unfortunately, we rolled like crap here, so it's only a 6. The Soviets with a 1 will essentially tie that, so we're not even going to bother rolling on that one. So that would have been a tie, but let's pretend that we actually rolled decent here, and let's say we got a 5. So we got a 9. Still well possible for the Soviets to tie that or beat it and still not take damage. But let's just say we flubbed the roll a little bit, and you can see already where like how well you have to roll to damage the Soviets here, like, and have a good chance, I should say. That's a 9 to their 7, and basically we won by 2. So, and again, for every one that we win by, they'd be rolling hazard dice. So let's see if we can continue the luck from the shooting video and roll these doubles. Never seems to work in regular games, but we're rolling hot in these. So did it again. So if we had won by that, we won by 2. So they'd roll the 2 dice. Lucked out on 1, blank, no damage, but we did put 2 on them from that. So if it was a fresh model, we took them to half. Any future damage would puncture the suit and start reducing their oxygen. But as you can see, you got to get a lot right to do that. But if we roll it again, we'll see just a couple rolls through that. 1 that time. That would have been an instant kill. Very rare, but could have been great. here a double blank, so that still could happen as an example too, guys. And that's one of the things that adds a lot of tension to these combats, because like you got to get all the stuff to go right for you, and then the enemy could still luck out and not take damage from that. So there you have it. That's essentially a melee attack, and you have the other option too of pushing and sidearm, and we'll take a quick look at that for you guys. So pushing, basically you have a chance to push them a distance away from you, and again here, similarly, you could knock them potentially into other models, but you could also knock them prone, things like that. So the fun thing too is, we forgot to mention that earlier, so when the defender wins, they get to attack back, but this happens a lot too. If it's a tie on the initial grapple roll, then essentially you bounce off each other an inch, and then you gotta try to get back into combat if you still have oxygen left for that. That is just some basics there. Now you can get bonuses as well for the initial grapple roll, so let's take a look at that. So if you, let's say you're early in your activation, you have unused oxygen. So before progressing to the challenge roll, you can use any of your unused oxygen points towards the challenge roll. You got to declare that before rolling though. And ideally, when you're trying to grapple someone, you want to begin your activation outside of their line of sight and engage them from outside of that. Then you actually get a +2 to your mobility for the challenge roll as an attack bonus. If you have a buddy in close combat with you, you get a +1 bonus for assisting, and similarly, if you were attacking into multiple enemy models, their buddy would give them a +1 as well. Unmanned units can't basically be involved in combat. Now, if you're targeting a prone unit already, you automatically win the grapple roll, and you just go straight into the attack. Can't push somebody that's already prone though, which I wish they would have something there where you could essentially kick them and again kind of yeet them across the board, but you could house roll that if you want. But additionally, if a sidearm is used, the target unit does not roll a hazard dice for being laid prone, since they are already laid prone. So you have that there for you. So again, that is a quick summary of close combat for you guys.